Assalamualaikum to all audience. I am Noramira Binti Nordin and I'm not alone here. With me, Miss Nursha Hakila Binti Rosli and Mrs. Jennifer Binti Nordin. We are from UITM Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, and today we are going to present our paper to all of you with title Social Media Platform Effect Towards Deviant Behavior of Youth Generation.
In this study, we were able to find a few newspaper cutting that related with our topic, which is from Berita Harian, Remaja Terpengaruh Media Sosial, and secondly, Don't Let Social Media Addictions Hold You Hostage from the Tribune. And thirdly, the Jakarta Post, which is lack of parental guidance, misuse of social media can causes of depressions. And last but not least, Straits Times newspaper Malaysia, which is the minister looking to amend law to fight cyberbullying and beware the dangers of internet and gadget. So this newspaper cutting is a provenance of this study.
The youth are the asset for a country, whereby they are the one who rule our country in the future. In other words, a country advancement or regress is determined by the youth capacity, willingness and ability in mid-national development. But the concern of social media among your generation become more widespread in line with the rapid development of the world with the new and advanced technology. And ideally, the use of social sites provide a lot of development and information to the community, especially related to the current affairs, foreign news and domestic news. And it also benefits the development of education today. And viewing of various programs via media such as television, radio and print media can still be limited and censored in order to keep toxic element and culture from infiltrating the youth. But the use of social media on internet platform, on the other hand, has lost that control whereby the opponents of the media allow to the youths, also known as Generation Y and Z, to use it without limitation, which is resulting in public worry. So the consequences of this current situation is indicates an increasing rate of young crime, where almost every day we are served with criminal news such as street crime, violence, vandalism and many more. Therefore, the aim of this study is to identify social media platform effect towards the deviant behavior of youth generation, as well as to study the relationship between social media platform effect towards behavior of youth generation based on their parental status.
Moving to literature review, social media, one of the online platform that focus on creating social network and social relationship among the people. The technology of social media also allow the users to have sharing that can make them connected to each others. In Malaysia, there are more than 5 million users and 83 of them is a youth generation. They're likely to use social media by sharing their problems that can lead them to the negative impact that can affect to their behavior. Next is youth. So basically, what is youth? Youth is someone that's still young or not yet become an adult. So according to the United Nations, UN has defined youth those between 15 until 24 years old. In overall populations of Malaysia, youth consists with 40% of populations. So the percentage of youth shows they're becoming one of the significant group age in Malaysia in the future of the country.
Hi, I'm Mary again. So continue with the literature review part. This is independent variable, which the first one is family interaction, where study shows that adolescents who use social media and technology have less time to connect with others family members than adolescents who do not. And another one is the poor communication has a decremental influence on family and children behavior. Secondly, social media addiction, whereby it can be shown by internet use purposes as social network ranked first with 18.9%. Study also mentioned that the more time spent for the mass media, the lower the level of student moral. Next is cyber threat, whereby electronic media being used to harass others in whatever way they choose, and adolescents display violent conduct in cyberspace. And lastly is parental status, where youth that living with broken family will have a lower parental engagement and supervision from their parents. And most of the youth that living in single family have a behavior problem and stress because of lack of parental guidance. So audience, as you can see on this slide, this dependent variable, which is deviant behavior. So what's the context of deviant behavior in this paper? Okay, let's see. Behavior being defined as an attempt on the part of individual, while deviant is describe a person's behavior that's not unusual, unacceptable, undesirable, and unwanted behavior, such as skipping school, theft, violence, vandalism, and many more examples of deviant conduct. So to be clear with the literature review, here conceptual framework whereby there is independent variable which are effect of social media platform that will be look at 3 points, which is family interaction, social media addiction, and cyber threat. And the other one is demographic factor, which is parental status. And for dependent variable is deviant behavior.
Next, the methodologies of this research. The research designs for this study is cross-sectional designs, which is undertaken gathered at once. Next, in order to determine the sample size, you are using the Roscoe technique. According to the Roscoe rule of thumb, the sample size is 30 and less than 500 are sufficient for this study. So we took 200 of sample size. The unit of analysis is individual, which is the youth in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, and the data are collected through online survey. The sampling technique is convenient sampling since it is more easier to reach the respondent.
So we come to the result and discussion part. The first result that we will look at is relationship effect of social media towards deviant behavior of youth generation. So to meet this result, Pearson correlation analysis was conducted. As being displayed in this slide, correlation matrix of deviant behavior and the independent variable effect of social media platform, which are family interaction, social media addiction, and cyber threat. So to seek whether the test run has achieved objective, here 3 hypotheses being presented. For family interaction, its score coefficient relation at 0.403. It shows that there is a moderate positive relationship between family interaction and deviant behavior. And next is cyber threat, which score coefficient relation at 0.45, which means that this variable has the least influence over deviant behavior. And it shows that there is a significant and low positive relationship between cyber threat and deviant behavior of youth generation. And lastly, social media addiction scored the highest of coefficient relation at 0.463, which means this variable has the most influence over deviant behavior of your generation. And it shows that there is a moderate positive relationship between social media addiction and deviant behavior. Therefore, 3 hypotheses accepted and reject null hypothesis.
For the second finding, the second research objective is to differentiate the effects of social media towards deviant behavior of youth generations based on parental status that divided into 3, just married, widow, and divorce. For the second objective, it will be answered by conducting one-way ANOVA. Based on the table show, the effects of social media towards deviant behavior of youth generations based on their parental status have significant difference with 3.695, and the significant value is 0.27, which is less than 0.05. So there are 2 hypotheses here. For the first hypothesis, there is significant difference deviant behavior of youth generations and parental status. For the second hypothesis, there is no significant difference deviant behavior of youth generations and parental status. So the null hypothesis is rejected.
In conclusion, this paper managed to achieve both research objectives by successfully identifying the relationship effect of social media platforms, which are family interaction, social media addiction, and cyber threat, with deviant behavior of youth generation, whereby there is moderate positive relationship of family interaction and social media addiction towards deviant behavior, while the cyber threat has no positive relationship with deviant behavior. And we're also able to identify second research objective, which is to differentiate effect of social media platform towards deviant behavior of youth generation based on their parental status. And there is a significant differences, which is p-value 0.027. To summarize all content in this paper, the youth play an important role in determining the direction of the country because they are the one who will replace the current leaders. And the use of social media today has undeniable help in the growth of Industry 4.0, which is emphasized the online technology and communication, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, The misuse of this platform can lead to the collapse of morality and causes our country to be shaken by the news of crimes committed by these youth people. Therefore, the cooperation of the youth, family, institution, society and law enforcement is very important so that our youth continue to have a bright and healthy future.